beautiful people. It's Wonderful Wednesday. I'm April Roll, your ER doctor online, and today's video, dun, 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 it is the 1 year deep clean for no name. Yes, for my Gardyn 1, or I should say Gardyn 1.0 hydroponic system. If you've been following my channel, then you know I have 2 hydroponic systems that are called the Gardyn. And last week I told you that it was No Name's first anniversary, birthday, whatever you want to call it, this month, officially on the 27th. But it's been 1 year that I have not done a deep clean on the No Name Gardyn. So for those of you who do not know, every 6 months, Gardyn recommends that you do a deep clean of the unit where you disassemble the unit and you clean it out, all the columns, the tank, the Y pods, everything. You do a complete deep clean every 6 months. And for my first Gardyn unit, I did do that. I cleaned it at the 6-month mark and I cleaned it at the 1 year mark. However, because I bought them 3 months apart, I got a little busy. I missed the 6-month mark for No Name. And I pretty much, by the time I was like, it's how many months now? I might as well just see what happens and push it all the way to a year, because I really don't feel like doing it, to be honest. And you know how sometimes you want to be a rebel, like you just want to see what happens if. And that's pretty much how I got to this situation. And I was curious, and I'm pretty sure you guys are curious too, to see what exactly happens and what does it look like in there when you pretty much don't do the deep clean at the 6-month mark. Now, there are many others who do not do this every 6 months, but that's because they found many hacks. And if you do have a Gardyn, or you're looking to get a Gardyn, or you just ordered one, the Facebook group, the Gardeners, that is, I'm telling you, there's a wealth of knowledge in there, and there's multiple hacks. So people have figured out ways that work for them in terms of how to keep their Gardyn units clean, which is convenient for them. So some people do the deep clean every 6 months, and some people have modified it to be a less time-consuming process, to where they do something either monthly or quarterly that is drastically less effort and elbow grease? Yes, elbow grease. So I know that you have waited this long and you just want to get to the goods, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So we start the deep clean off by trimming off my herbs and plants and getting rid of the ones, that was the beans, just so you know, that I threw away in the trash. But all of the plants that I want to keep, I'm pretty much transplanting them from the No Name into the tree. Everything else, I'm pretty much just trimming. And that's the celery, guys. The celery was so locked in there, I had to take the whole column off to get this. Look at those roots. And then I tried to put the cup in there. I had to get that Y pot off. I was like, oh my gosh, struggling. Anyway, back to what we was doing. Getting all the plants out that I wanted to save and transplanting them over to the tree side so that I can continue getting all the plants out of No Name, and then getting down to the clean. So I looked like I was trying to show you something about how the roots were all getting into the bottom of the unit. And I had to take the trash out so that I can have enough space to put anything else in the trash that I needed. Then I dumped out the bottom and I put white vinegar in the bottom of the tank, and I did a half water solution, half vinegar solution. And I'm just showing you here the buildup, the algae of some of the worst looking Y cubes. Now, I did the half white vinegar, half water mixture, and I put everything in a tub. Just to rewind though, I did run the unit through for 10 minutes with the white vinegar and water mixture in the columns so that the actual black tubing can run through with the vinegar and water mixture. And here I'm just showing you how extensive the roots are. Like, look in there. I'm so glad I got some good close-ups of the buildup because it was a lot going on. So I start taking the screws out. I lost one, by the way. Hopefully I'll find that shortly after this video. But look, I was showing you all the roots, how they was growing like wild through these columns. So I took everything over to this thing, and you can't see, but I'm pretty much going through with a tweezer and taking out all of the roots that were stuck up in there, okay? And even though you can't see, in a couple seconds, I'm gonna put the roots up to the camera there, and you almost missed it. So I go outside, I take what's already vinegar in there, and I pretty much eyeball it to add water so that it's kind of like a half and half, you know, 1-to-1 vinegar and water. And I pretty much let it sit. I came out 1.5 days later, added more water just to get everything covered for the actual scrub and dub. Okay, so I took my Dremel Versa and started cleaning all the Y pods, and pretty much, and I'm showing you because I forgot to show you what I was using. And I start cleaning all the Y pods, going about my little business, trying to show you a little bit of the gunky buildup. Boom, charge died, and I try to show you. I'm gonna move on to the columns with my little Ryobi because I had to put my Dremel on the charger. Tip number 1 for this part, the watch back. Charge your power tools the night before. I told myself this last time, and again, I forgot. But anyway, we continue, right? We're going through with this Dremel. The first column is getting all clean. I'm trying to show you as close to in the camera as I can, but not really doing a great job of showing you all the buildup up close and personal. It will get better as I work through the columns. You can kind of see some of the buildup, and I'm trying to show it to the camera. But y'all, this hyperlapse is serious. No matter how slow in real time I try to go, yo, you can catch something right there. That was trashy. That was trashy. But no matter how slow in real time I try to go, I try to pause, I try to put it up to the camera real up close, when it plays back in hyper speed or hyperlapse, whatever Samsung calls it, it's just not sufficient. Like, what I gotta do, y'all? Like, stand there for 5 minutes? But anyway, let's continue. We going on, we cleaning with the Ryobi. I'm using the Ryobi with the brush attachment. It's being my best friend right now. Getting in here real good, cleaning these columns out like a boss, okay? It is making everything go quickly, pretty much, and I was getting the hang of it by the time I finished with the second column. I pretty much was getting the hang of it. And just so you know, the Ryobi died as well, but luckily I got my little battery pack. I just snapped on a new one, and you guys couldn't even tell because I couldn't even tell. I missed it. But boom, boom, boom. I'm going through the third column like a pro, getting in there. And I think there's gonna be one that looked pretty, no. Everything looked pretty good coming through the end of this column. It looked pretty good actually. And then I'm putting it to the side, and I'm switching back to the Dremel, and lo and behold, the charge is there. I'm getting through, going back, cleaning the remaining wide pods. The Dremel, look at that one, build up. I think that was the worst looking wide pod, but that Dremel cleaned it nicely, and I'm going through. I'm trying to show you the after, that it looks all clean and pretty. And I continue basically, you know, going through, continuing through with the clean, buffing it out. That's what it really looks like when you, that was thunder. That was my code for thunder. It started thundering, and I was like, oh girl, you gotta, let's get through this, because we can't have us be rained on. Then boom, died again. Battery died again. Now I'm washing everything by hand. So I'm going, you know, a little wrist action, a little scrub-a-dub, a little move the brush around. Oh, this had to be the celery pot, guys. That root was so stuck in there. I finally got it out, but yeah, that root was something serious. So I continue on trying to go quickly so I don't get rained on. And I move quickly through, using a little elbow grease, getting the rest of these columns, and then we were done. Now, all I had to do was dump that. I put everything back in the tub. I sprayed it off with some water to try to get some of that, whatever gunk or roots or anything that was left, get all that water vinegar mixture off so that it's clean, and we back in the house. So now I start putting all the columns back together and, you know, start the reassembly of the garden. And I try to get in the camera to show y'all the little gunk in the crevice that I could not get, but clearly hyperlapse is not on my side. So boom, there we were done, and I was starting to put all the white cubes back in, trying to show you again the little itty bitty crevices that I didn't get. Then I dumped the tank, the water vinegar mixture that was still sitting in there. I refill it with regular water to get the garden back into shape. I pretty much, oh yeah, I had to re-loose because that tube where the celery was acting a mess. Now I'm just trying to show you, it looks clean, but look, there's some tiny little bits where it is not as clean. So that was a lot. I told you it was going to be a lot because there was a year's worth of buildup in there. 358 days to be exact, because No Name's birthday is September 27th, coming up next week. But like I said, I told you last week I was putting this video out this week. So that's what we did. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, one thing I want to hammer into pretty much my mind and your mind, anybody who has not made it to the 6-month mark yet for cleaning their unit, trim your roots. April. Trim your roots, okay? Gardyn recommends that you do this monthly. And as you saw in the video, some of my plants, like celery, which I grew from my own seed, you know, Gardyn lets you grow, if you have the blank white cubes, they let you grow whatever you want to grow in there. You know, they have some recommendations about the types of plants that will do best in the unit, but there are some things that I chose to grow on my own, and they did beautifully. The celery, however, because like I said, trim your roots, I was not doing that. And I had a struggle, okay? I thought I was gonna break the unit and or my celery, and I was trying not to do either. Luckily, I successfully did not break the celery or the unit, but those roots were monstrous, okay? They were thick, they were long, they were extensive, they should have been trimmed, okay? at least quarterly, because I don't know if y'all know, but I know it's probably not going to happen every month. Sometimes at the beginning, when I did try to go in there monthly and actually trim them, some of the plants didn't even have anything to trim yet because it wasn't past the area where Gardyn recommends to trim you. So I kind of was like, you know what, I'll check this in a couple months. And that's how this happened. But I'm telling you, going forward, I will at least try to trim the roots quarterly. And the ones like tatsoi and the celery and or rosemary or whatever is getting very prolific within the system, I will know to examine the roots and trim them accordingly. Another thing that, this is kind of an aside, not really related to deep clean, but it is a tip. The longer and more extensive your root system is, the quicker you're gonna have to replace out or refresh your tank and add new water and plant fluid and everything. Because I mean, the plants need food. The more extensive the root system is, the more water and food and everything it needs, and it's gonna pretty much keep growing and growing to try to reach and get as much as it can, because it's trying to live, you know. And that's a whole nother topic. But on this deep clean, another thing that I mentioned in the second deep clean for the tree's deep clean, I mentioned that the thing that made the second deep clean go so much smoother was that there weren't any plants left in the unit. With no name, I had a couple favorites still in there. I had my celery, I had my scallions, I had my rosemary, my thyme, I had my lemongrass, I had a couple Scotch bonnet peppers in there, I had some tatsoi. I could go on, you know. It was less than 10 Y cubes that I think I transitioned over to or transferred over to the tree so that those can continue to grow in the unit. But I'm telling you, that was a hindrance when it comes to the deep clean. Having to do something with plants that are still in the unit that you want to keep, that slows you down big time. Trimming the roots, like I said, that was another thing that's gonna make the deep clean a little more difficult. And then those are the two major tips from this one. Not cleaning your unit in a year, pretty much trimming the roots, and what's your plan for your plants. That's going to be the biggest in terms of time commitment, or however long it's going to take you to clean it. Those are the two major factors. In terms of cleaning it, it didn't go as badly as I thought it may. The power tools definitely help. The Ryobi with the brush attachment and the Dremel Versa with the brush attachment. I will always use those for the clean. Not necessarily, you don't necessarily need the power, because I learned that when my battery charge ran out on my Versa and I had to hand clean the last couple Y-pods. And it was actually not caked on there. It just was a matter of, you know, moving the brush in the crevices. Another thing that I hope you could see in the video, the unit is miles and miles cleaner, obviously, than it was before I cleaned it. But there are some crevices, like at the very top of the garden where the caps are, where you screw the back into the light system to stabilize the columns. There are some crevices in the Gardyn Home 1.0 where you pretty much ain't getting in there unless you have something as tiny as like a mascara brush and you're kind of flossing it through that area. The Gardyn 2.0 has made some modifications on the columns. I do not currently own a Gardyn Home 2.0 at the filming of this video or the posting of this video, so I cannot comment on that in terms of ease of cleaning, getting into those crevices. And then on the Y pods themselves, there are some crevices on the lip of the Y pod where the Y cube snaps into, or the little pod cover snaps into, and those, again, that would be something you have to clean with a mascara brush, size brush. I'm just using that for an example. I'm not telling you to clean it with your mascara brush. No, I'm just using that for a sizing comparison. So those are two things I kind of wish was, kind of different, but what can I do right now? I didn't clean it. I did, just so you know, I didn't go into those crevices with any flossing mechanism with a tiny brush. I didn't. It got clean enough for me. I can grow some clean fluid in there, and I'm satisfied. I hope you all are satisfied with the deep clean, because I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad I got through it. I'm glad that it didn't put me out, because when I was doing the takedown, I was feeling a little discouraged, but I did get through it, and it was not so painful. I can do it again in 6 months. I'm not dreading this, but I learned some tips along the way. If I think of anything else, I'll put it in the description box below, or I'll add it here in the post-editing phase, in terms of tips to help you with your deep clean if you've never done one before and you either just got or ordered or are looking into getting a garden home hydroponic system. So, as always, thank you for sharing this wonderful Wednesday with me. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, and how can I forget? If you check out the description box, you can find discount codes to get your very own discount off of a Garden Home 2.0. There's still one for the Garden 1.0, so just look in the box. If you're looking to purchase, you can save money by using the codes in the description box. If you have any questions, any comments about the deep clean, about the garden unit, how I like it, how it's been, you can put those questions in the comment section below. I got a ton of videos though on my channel. If you have, you're just curious and you want to see how it goes month to month, tour, what kind of plants you can put in there, you can scroll through my Grow Some Food playlist. If you have any other questions, because on my channel I do videos on health and wellness, because I'm an ER doctor. If you have any questions related to emergency medicine or health and wellness in general, you can put those in the comment section as well. But I just want to take this time out again. I already just said it, but I want to take the time out again to thank you for sharing this wonderful Wednesday with me, with this crazy but beautiful and glad to be over deep clean with me. Be blessed and stay healthy.